Hello and welcome to another edition of Football Forum. I'm Daily Iowan TV's Nick Long, along with Daily Iowan sports reporter Scott Miller, Daily Iowan TV's Tom Rogers, and Daily Iowan sports reporter John Linder. And today we're talking about the defense. The Hawks coming off a big 27-17 win over Arizona, and the defense, you guys, look sick over the weekend. They only gave up 3 points, or they gave up 10 points, excuse me, but 7 of those were late in the game. You know, what impressed you most, Scott, about the defense this weekend?
I wrote about it on Monday, but I'd have to say the defensive line I thought was really causing some problems back there in the backfield. They kind of, we had, let's see, Ballard moved inside. I'm sorry, I was about to say Claiborne. Claiborne's still on the edge. Ballard moved inside, and after the game, Kirk kind of said that he's still adjusting to him moving inside. So that might have been a reason for, I think only 2 sacks through 2 games, and then they really exploded. They really didn't get that many sacks. It really wasn't a statistical thing. It was more of a just causing problems. Adrian Claiborne was in the backfield, I felt like, every other play. Chased Grigsby down from behind a couple of times, which was really impressive to see that. And Klug bad down a couple of balls. And it was just nice to see kind of them get back to almost where they were last year with King and Kroll, where they were such a problem-solving defense.
I mean, it's hard to argue with your assessment of the defensive line. I was very impressed with the secondary and the strides that they've made in 3 games after getting torn, just torn to shreds in that first game. Iowa State, obviously, there was a lot of interceptions, a lot of production there. Still they got picked apart a little bit. And then this week you see it all kind of came to fruition with, I think a lot of that obviously had to do with the defensive line getting pressure on Scott, getting in there. But then you have Tyler Sash, who hit the MO of, he's a turnover causing machine. A lot of interceptions falling into his lap throughout his career. Saturday, he goes out and makes one of the best, probably the best interception that he's ever made. Athletically, he sees the pass, turns around while it's in the air, goes and tracks it down, picks it straight out of the air, has a great run back. Really, that was a turning point in the game. Obviously, Amari Spivey had a great, that touchdown saving. I mean, that was the turning point in the game, along with David Cato also, who came in that next play, blitzed, and blew up Nick Grigsby. And I mean, just as a whole unit, obviously Greenwood, he had another solid day. Quietly, that's his MO.
Yeah, that is his MO.
Yeah.
Very quietly.
Yeah, for the first 2 games, the secondary has kind of been the most reliable position on the field. But Tommy, you were talking before we started this that you were just raving about the linebackers.
Yeah, well, the linebackers just seem to me as the most reliable group, on this whole defense. I mean, obviously, Eads, Angerer, and Hunter all have plenty of experience, guys, but, it just feels like it's very rare that they are the ones, to give up big plays. I mean, Iowa's defense is always built on that bend, don't break mentality. We always talk about you see them here and there giving up big drives, but you don't see them giving up the big play that gets the fans into the game, gives, shifts momentum, stuff like that. And right at the heart of that is, Eads and Angerer, and they're definitely, the leaders of these defenses of this defense. And, after the game, when you talk to them, I mean, just their leadership stands out. You can definitely see why everyone listens to them. And if they just keep playing like they've been playing, and keep making the plays that they have, I think they'll be fine.
Yep. And speaking of those linebackers, they have linebacker U Penn State coming up this weekend, and pretty good defense over there as well, but also pretty good offense. Joe Paterno takes pride in running that spread HD offense, as they call it. What do the Hawks need to improve on for this weekend against Penn State?
Well, I think, the view from the press box up in Kinnick is a great view. You can really see the whole field. And the only area of concern I saw on defense was the middle of the field was pretty wide open on the defensive side of the ball. And that's, Darryl Clark is probably the best quarterback that Iowa is going to play all year. You could argue Terrell Pryor, but I would say Darryl Clark is, that premier quarterback in the Big Ten right now, and he's going to pick them apart. I have a feeling if it's going to be that wide open. I think Norman Parker, the defensive coordinator, will make some adjustments.
As he always does.
As he always does, yeah. But that remains to be seen how that middle of the field looks. That's kind of an area of concern for me.
Yeah, definitely. Giving up big plays, I think that was the big thing. If anything could be taken away as a negative, there were other things, rather than Stanzi's his poor start. I thought another thing was the big play ability that Arizona was able to showcase, at certain specific times, and they were able to bottle it up, obviously. But 119 of their 253 yards came on 3 different plays. So I mean that really shows that Iowa is susceptible to giving up that big play. They really need to solidify that other corner spot, I think, as the season progresses, and it's this is the biggest test they've had so far. Can Sean Prater step up and actually show that he gave up a couple deep balls that he got beat on? I mean, it ended up working out for the best, but still, you'd like to see him start at least becoming a compliment to Amari over there.
I mean, just the thing, we all know how much trouble Iowa has had in the past with dual threat quarterbacks. And Darryl Clark can certainly throw the ball, but he definitely knows how to run too. He can take it on the ground, take it himself, and that's just one of those things where everyone's going to have to be controlling him, watching him. It's not going to be one or two guys trying to stop him. Everyone, all 11 guys as a unit, are going to have to work together, keep him contained, keep the crowd out of the game. And I think Iowa will be fine.
Yeah, it should be interesting this weekend to see the two defenses go head to head and see Norm Parker's adjustments.
Yeah,
he always
definitely.
seems to make them. So that'll be our show for Football Forum today. As always, you can join John and Scott in the print edition of the Daily Iowan every day, Monday through Friday. Don't forget to check out their pregame insert on Fridays. And you can check out me, Tommy, and the rest of the gang doing our thing on Daily Iowan TV Sunday through Thursday, 9:30 to 10:30, Channel 17 in the city and Channel 4 on campus. Thank you.